Isekai anime are common nowadays because of the unrealistic tropes they have. The Isekai genre pertains to the show where the protagonist ends up going to another world for various reasons. Usually, it's by dying in his or her original world and getting reincarnated into another one. Summoning the protagonist is also very common. With that thing in mind, it is customary for most of the protagonists to have an unusual power at the start of their isekai life, which makes them stand out. Many people love the one who are extremely strong, as known as overpowered, and so I'm here to feature some of the most top isekai anime with overpowered main characters. So without any further ado, let's start with our list. On the 10th number, the anime name is High School Prodigies Have It Easy Even in Another World. The series revolves around 7 high school students who are internationally renowned for their exceptional abilities. They include Prime Minister Tsukasa, genius inventor Ringo, former ninja and journalist Shinobu, world-renowned Dr. Keine, swordsman Aoi, skilled magician Prince, and multimillionaire Masato. One day, they survive a plane crash only to find themselves in a medieval fantasy world called as Frejagard. In this world, two human races live side by side in somewhat feudal society. The Byuma, who possesses animal features and formidable strength, and the Yuma, who possess limited magical aptitude. After being rescued by Byuma named as Winona and her adopted elven daughter Lyrule, the group decides to repay the people of Elm Village by using their advanced skills and knowledge to revolutionize the village and its culture. The group also learns about an ancient legend that narrates how an evil dragon was slain by 7 heroes who came from another world, believing that there is a connection between the legend and their present situation. On the 9th number, the anime name is The Saga of Tanya the Evil. In this gender-bender isekai, the MC is originally a salaryman working in a human resource department where he oversees firing employees for the sake of the company. He is doing it efficiently without any regards and empathy towards them. One day, after firing an incompetent employee, he was pushed by him to death, which leads him to meet an entity that he calls as Being X. The MC is a rational person who follows logic and reasoning, which is why he doesn't believe in any metaphysical beings like God, especially Being X. Enraged by his faithlessness, Being X sends his soul into a harsh trial where he will have to ask God for help. He woke up in an orphanage as Tanya, reincarnated into an alternate universe in a nation called as Empire. Tanya has entered the final curriculum of the Imperial Military Academy and is training at the 3rd Patrol Line in the Northern Military District, the Northern Theatre, as a part of her service to the force. Her training, the first step towards a brilliant career as an aviation mage, should have gone off without a hitch, but things took an unexpected turn. On the 8th number, the anime name is Isekai Cheat Magician. Nishimura Taichi is a typical average high schooler and Azuma Rin is a beautiful woman with the build of model and excellent reflexes. The two live a normal high school life until one day they are suddenly enveloped in a mysterious magical circle and transported to an unknown land. The world is full of terrifying monsters, beastmen, dwarfs, elves and many other races right out of fantasy. In order to survive into this new world, Taichi and Rin decides to become adventurers. But when they take the aptitude test, they discover that they both possess cheat level magic. If you are fond of an isekai with slight romance, and an overpowered protagonist where you cannot predict what is going to happen because he cannot unleash his full potential, then you must give this anime a try. On the 7th number, the anime name is Tokyo Ravens. Onmyodo magic was once a powerful technique used by the Japanese during the Second World War in order for them to gain the upper hand and establish their nation as a formidable force. But Japan was quickly defeated after the revered Great Spiritual Disaster, an event which plagued Tokyo to this very day. As a result of this mishap, the Onmyo Agency was established in order to exorcise further spiritual disasters and combat the demons that would make their way into this world. Now, Onmyo-do has become far more modern, simplified and refined for use in a wide variety of applications such as medicine and technology. However, not everyone is able to utilize this magic, as in the case of Harutora, a member of the Tsuchimikado's branch family. despite an old promise to protect Natsume and Yaku's supposed reincarnation as her familiar, Harutora has no talents and chooses to live a normal life instead. But when a prominent member of the Onmoyo agency attempts to recreate the same experiment which has led to Japan's downfall, he decides to make good for his own word and fight by Natsume's side. Watch this anime to know more about it. On the 6th number, the anime name is Drifters. At the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600, Toyohisa Shimazu is the rear guard of his retreating troops and is critically wounded when he suddenly finds himself in a modern, gleamingly white hallway. Faced with only a stoic man named as Murasaki and hundreds of doors on both sides, Toyohisa is pulled into the nearest door and into a world completely unlike his own. The strange land is populated by all manners of fantastical creatures, as well as warriors from different eras of Toyohisa's world who were thought to be dead. Quickly befriending the infamous warlord Nobunaga Oda and the ancient archer Yoichi Nasu, Toyohisa learns of the political unrest tearing throughout the continent. Furthermore, they have been summoned as drifters to fight against the Ents, people who are responsible for the creation of the Earth Empire and are trying to annihilate the drifters. As the End grows more powerful, so does the Empire's persecution of elves and other demi-humans. It is up to Toyohisa and his group of unconventional heroes to battle in the brand new World War to help the Empire's subjects, while protecting the land to claim for themselves and challenge the Ents. On the 5th number, the anime name is Deathmatch to the Parallel World Rhapsody. Sato, as known as Ichiro Suzuki, is a programmer in the middle of the Death March. He was supposed to be taking a nap but somehow wakes up in another world. What lies before him is what looks like the menu screen of the game he was working before his nap. He is at a complete beginner stage at level 1, however, he has 3 meteor showers which could level a whole map. Suddenly, the whole group of lizard men appears in front of him. In order to survive, Sato uses meteor shower and his level jumps from 1 to 310 and he becomes extremely wealthy. Whether it be dreamy or reality, Sato's journey was now beginning. If you are fond of an Isekai anime where the overpowered main character is very chill despite having a very troublesome but wholesome harem, you should definitely watch this show. On the 4th number, the anime name is Seirei Gensoki Spirit Chronicles. His past life and current life are intersecting. A boy with memories of 2 lives faces his destiny. After his mother was killed at an early age, the orphaned Ryo fought his hardest to survive in slums. One day, he awakens to the memories of Haruto Amakawa, who died in an accident while dreaming of being reunited with his childhood friend, and Ryo realizes that he has reincarnated into a world of sword and sorcery. This is also what they call as hero summoning, wherein people from Earth are summoned, which is different from MC because he got reincarnated. What's more is all of the girls in the show are cute and there's also slight romance here. So if you want an Isekai anime where the OPMC is living like a Loki hero in a pure fantasy world skilled in both magic and sword, then you have to give this show a try. On the 3rd number, the anime name is Classroom Crisis. In Martian Colony, 4th Tokyo, lies a classroom of Kirishina Corporation's brightest minds spearheading aerospace development A-Tech, led by genius engineer Kaito Seira, eagerly anticipating the arrival of their newest member. It soon becomes clear, however, that the transfer student is hardly ordinary, whose name is Nagisa Kiryu. Newly appointed chief of A-Tech and the younger brother of corporation CEO is sent to shut down the program. To keep the classroom alive, Kaito and his students desperately work to develop a successor to their most powerful rocket, the X2. Meanwhile, Nagisa climbs the corporate ladder in pursuit of his own mission. In spite of this, their separate battle soon reveals that much more is going on in Kirishina Corporation than meets the eye. Classroom Crisis follows Kaito and Nagisa as well as Kaito's younger sister Mizuki and A-Tech's test pilot Iris, in a story of intrigue, political warfare and against all odds and romance too. As Nagisa and A-Tech are dragged further and further into Kirishina Corporation's conspiracies, friendships grows and pasts are unveiled as they fight to avert their classroom's crisis. On the 2nd number, the anime name is Wise Man's Grandchild. A young man dies in a car accident and is reborn in a magical new world. The old yet wise Merlin finds the boy, named him Shin, raised him for infancy and teaches him combat and powerful magic along the way. 15 years later, Shin is ready to travel the globe on his own, but Merlin forgot to teach him something important: common sense. Although this isekai has generic traits, an interesting thing about this anime is that he doesn't have a harem. Since there's a huge gap between own powers and friends, he decides to train them to learn combat skills. This anime also contains a very fluffy and wholesome romance. So if you are fond of an isekai with an overpowered MC and a wholesome relationship with his friends and lovers, then this anime is for you. And finally, on the first number, the anime name is Tsukimi Moonlit Fantasy. Makoto Mitsumi is just an ordinary high school student living a regular life. But all of a sudden he gets summoned into another world to become a hero. The goddess of the other world, however, insults him for being different and stripes his hero title, before casting him off in the wilderness at the edge of the world. As he wanders around the wilderness, Makoto encounters dragons, spiders, orcs, dwarfs, and all sorts of non-human tribes. Because Makoto comes from a different world, he is able to unleash unimaginable magical powers and combat skills. But just how will he handle his encounters with various species and survive his new environment? In this fantasy world, Makoto tries to transform other worlds into better place, despite the humans and gods having turned their backs on him. There is also a bit of economics in this isekai anime, since the overpowered main character decides to become a merchant. If you happen to have an interest in an isekai anime with not so good looking overpowered main character who still has its own harem, and also a bit of interest in village building, economics and adventures, then Tsukimi Moonlit Fantasy is for you. With that said guys, we have finally came to the end of this video. What are your thoughts about this list? Let me know your favorite anime in the comment section down below, and if you enjoyed this video, then check out my other top 10 list over here. If you enjoyed, please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I post daily anime content on this YouTube channel. And that's it for today guys, and I will see you in the next one. Sayonara.